Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. This is our first day on the job site. We're going to be removing the driveway and replacing it with stamped concrete, Belgium slate. We're going to do an integral color from Davis, and it's called Silver Smoke. This driveway has really seen better days, but not many because it was never done well to begin with. The broom finish actually drug up the aggregate from day one. Here's some overspray from the sprinklers, tearing up the block wall there. Built in 1973, this driveway. So it's served its purpose. It's never been pretty to look at, but better than walking through the mud on a rainy day. There's your demo tool that's going to get this out in short order. Nice thing about that tool is the guy that stands on the back of it, the heavier he is, the bigger a load you can pick up without flipping forward. So what I need is about a 500-pound operator on that and get these out in a hurry. So this is a part one of a two-part series, and this particular part you're going to see the removal. You're going to see a new form material that I'll be using. We have a distributor and manufacturer that's going to be out here on the job site. We're going to talk live footage. Hi, we got a new tool here, the Milwaukee 7 1/4 rear handle circular saw. Comes with a nice charger, so you can do your 12s and your 18s. Came with this wood cutting blade here, which we know it's going to cut wood, rip or crosses, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go to an extreme on this. What I'm going to do is put a diamond blade in it for cutting blocks, bricks, concrete. In this case, we're going to be cutting some concrete. This concrete was poured in 1973, and it's 3/4 rock. And we found the actual date that somebody had carved in it, so we know when this was poured. Now the true test is, will it cut the concrete? Supposedly, this is comparable to a 15 amp corded saw. So we're just going to be running from the battery on this. We're going to go 1 inch deep. 1 inch deep and see what it can do. Let's listen to this thing hum. Brushless. Oh. Another item that would be nice to use is the attachment, the vacuum attachment, which goes here. Then you hook up your vacuum and you don't have a lot of dust. A cordless vacuum would be ideal on wheels. That way, when you're cutting a slab, doing some control joints, you don't have any cords. Everything's cordless. Nothing's in the way. First of all, first thing I noticed is it's getting dusty. I'm going to need a mask. It's a good idea to have safety glasses too, so let me get both of those items. Alright, I'm back. Got the earplugs, got the glasses, I got the mask. Now it's time to have some fun. See what this thing can really do. Wow. Oh wow, this is amazing. I think this is cutting faster then my worm drive power cord. I'm gonna go get it and compare it. Hold on. I'm gonna get the other worm drive and power it up and see which one rolls faster. I think from what I'm feeling right now, this is pushing quicker. All right, I got the 15 amp power cord worm drive. I got the exact same blade because I buy them by the dozens. So let me set the depth. Oh, I think I just popped a breaker. Popped the breaker, the house. Okay, so we popped the breaker. I mean, it was cutting as well. We're both comparable, I would say. But I really like the idea of not having a cord here. So, now a vacuum is going to be a really nice attachment for this if you're going to cut concrete, for sure. That way you can keep your tool a little bit cleaner. But yeah, I'm going to definitely utilize this for decorative concrete cutting. And you could even get this on a mount, stand-up mount, to do cutting. No cords dragging across the job site. So much easier when you're using guides that you get tangled up with your cord and around your legs. Yeah, we'll just keep using this and keep posting stuff on it. Thanks for watching. Let's get back to the job site now. Alright, so the saw worked really well and I didn't have to worry about blowing a fuse. The nice thing about it is it was designed for cutting wood. If it cuts concrete, it'll cut any type of wood. So initially we used that saw to get a good straight line without losing our chalk line. And we can use a straight edge along it. And then we ran the cutoff saw full depth, because that planter was sitting on top of the driveway and they didn't want to remove it because it acts as a buffer for cars driving potentially through the front into the living room. So at the front of the driveway, when we started removing the concrete, it was only about 3 inches deep. Near the back of the driveway, it was about 6 to 7 inches thick. The back portion didn't have any base under it. The front portion did. So what we did is we dragged about an inch or inch and a half of base from the front to the rear. So we had about the same amount of base throughout the entire footprint of this driveway. Also, we'll be widening the driveway all the way to the block wall so we can get rid of those sprinklers that were hammering the block wall. And it'll just be a wider driveway, so you could potentially put some RVs on here and still have space. Now right here, since we had the expansive soil, the driveway came up above the top of the concrete here about an inch, so they just put some cement over the top, some patchcrete or some kind of overlay material that didn't work very well. So we're going to grind it all off and pour flush to the sidewalk. Hi, I'm David Odell with Odell Complete Concrete. We're on a job site and you'll see that through the whole video, but we got Jim with Elite Plastiform over here, and he brought all these reusable form lumber for me. So I'm gonna try it out. And so Jim, what about these forms anyway?
Well, one of the many advantages to them is longevity. Instead of having to replace a 2x4 every 3, 4, 5 uses, our boards, we've had customers using the same board that they purchased 27 years ago. If you can't get a minimum of 5 to 10 years use out of one board, you're misusing them. Nothing sticks to them. Concrete, you wash them off with a garden hose when you're done at the end of the day. Our connectors that connect the boards together snap into place. They'll expand or contract overnight and not separate. Our curb and gutter brackets, as you see over here as an example, they're adjustable. You know, it seems that every municipality has their own requirements in terms of width or angles of whatever it is you're pouring. Our boards are completely adjustable. And again, easy to maintain, lightweight. A 2x4 of our boards are 12 feet long. A bundle of 5 of these boards weighs only 28 pounds. This is a 16-foot board. It only weighs, a bundle of 5 of those only weighs 37 pounds. This board can be bent into a 3-foot radius, as hard as it is to bleed with if you're trying to use wood. Our 12-foot boards and 16-foot boards are interchangeable. You can lock them together. We have a hinge bracket. If you're doing any kind of angles, you can go from 90 degrees to 270 degrees. They're just a great tool. They're no longer a consumable. They are now part of your tool chest.
So I'm going green. I'm saving a tree. I'm basically saving a tree today.
You know, a lot of municipalities require an X percentage of your product be recyclable. Our boards are recyclable. Yeah. Sun doesn't bother them, by the way. Cold doesn't bother them. We've tested them by leaving them out in the desert for 5 years, and they were just as serviceable as they are when they were brand new.
So I shouldn't use my form oil on this?
Oh, you can use form oil. It just has to be non-diesel based.
All right.
Because diesel will affect these. These are made of pure virgin plastic. Although it's nice to say everything should be recycled, our boards we can't use recyclable or recycled plastic because it breaks down after time. If you look at your water bottles, how flimsy they've become, they use recycled plastic. We don't want our boards to become brittle like that. That's why we use virgin plastic.
Makes sense to me. So I'm going to set this form. I'm going to start setting what I've done so far. You can see the orange line I've painted out. So that's the first step in using this material. Paint out your radius. If it is a radius, if it's a straight line, then you just pull a string line and then set your stakes and then fasten it. These have their own fastening system. We don't need nails anymore with this. And also you can use these actually for screeds as well at shorter lengths if you end up with scraps potentially. If you do need short pieces for this, instead of cutting this, what you'll do is you'll cut a 2x4, and they have a fastening system to join this to a 2x4 as well. Anyway, let's take a look at these connectors over here and how they work. Okay, here's the connector to go end to end to get longer lengths. You notice how one is shorter than the other? That's so it's easily put in the holes of the end of the boards. If they are both the same, you'd be struggling. If you get one, the other one follows. And over here, here's the hinge for angles, like Jim was talking about. You put your form into here, another here, and you can go 90-degree angle, any angle you want in between. What else do we got here in this bag of goodies? Here we are. This is your kicker. Now they got 2x12s, like he said, all the way 2x4 to 2x12 in 2-inch increments. This right here will connect to, say, your 2x12. Say this is a 2x12. You put it in there. Now you bend it down. You drive your stake right through this, and now you have a kicker. I did an example over here of something that they hadn't really thought about yet. This is these particular brackets are designed for A curb or L curb. And I came up with an idea for me because I don't do a lot of L curb anymore. But this is really designed for monolithic curb and gutter like you see here in the street. And these have a batter. And they go from 4-inch wide curb all the way to a 9-inch curb. And then they have a built-in batter you can put on these. You can see here that you can change the batter. Now this would be your back of curb, and this would be your face, 2x6. And then curb and gutter. Here, back of curb, top of curb. The form fits here. Now you lock these in, now you have a template. Depending on the batter of whatever city you're working in, because they all have different batters, you can adjust it to fit any situation. Now this is what I came up with right here. Wall caps, possibly. Now you could open this to the maximum width, the 9-inch, and set your 2x4 backing. We'll use plastiform, of course, but or 2x4s. Just the bracket alone, you could put anything in here, and then you take your styrofoam. Say you're doing a decorative bullnose styrofoam cap. You set them inside here. It makes the styrofoam rigid. Then you can just use these every couple of feet, and now you have a perfect form system. That's easy to strip, because all you have to do to strip it is go like that. Everything falls away. Now you're ready to face it. So that's how that works. That's the idea I came up with this thing instead of curb and gutter, but it would work great for that also. So let's start setting some stakes on this orange line, and then we'll fasten this. Just got finished driving the stakes, and you run them about every 2 to 3 feet. Depending on the soil conditions and the height of your form and stuff like that. Ben came over here. He's going to be your contact man if anybody wants to purchase any of this stuff. And also, by mentioning you've seen it on my video, you get 10% off. You can contact Ben through eliteplastiform.com. So now I'm going to connect these real quick. No nails, no screws. We'll lay one here. Well, let's start at the top. We will have to make a cut. It won't be much, but we're gonna have to. I think, maybe not. Put it on. All right, so let's get the end connector, slip it in there. Ben's gonna show how you use this, how you fasten it.
It's our patented cam lock system. They are the easiest thing to use. You just take them, hook them under, twist them down. So in this case, on this side, twist them down and come down on your stake. So, let's see. Hook it, twist it, and come down.
Let's see how
Just like
secure.
that.
Oh yeah, that is secure.
Easy.
That's not moving. You really don't want to walk on these, I wouldn't imagine, though, huh?
Probably not, no. Walking on top of me, yeah.
So that's something to remember. Don't step on the forms. You might break a cam lock.
Let's see. Or just make it slide down, yeah. And then, once again, if you have to remeasure, adjust, it's so simple. But hook under, twist down, and come down on it till tight.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Super easy.
Now elevations, we haven't established elevation, but what I would do probably, since we're on a radius, I'd have to pull a line on the back and level over, or I could take my laser level and hit every 4th stake and make a mark with a laser level, and then I've got elevation established. But right now, this is looking pretty darn good, huh?
Yeah.
Let's keep connecting.
Under, twist on, come down.
I might point out is on a curve, it seems it takes a little twist to put them in because you're working against the curve when you're putting the cam locks in. Normally on a straight run, the cam lock will just slide along the channel You can lock it anywhere you want.
Yeah. Where's that? Okay. Let's check this out, Tyler, over here, this end connector. Let's connect another form here, see what happens. Let's see how easy these go in. So, here it is, offset in, so it's easy to get in the hole. Boom. Boom. Duct tape. Well, they recommend packaging tape, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use the old-fashioned duct tape, the gray. You see it over there, Ben?
Oh, yeah.
That gray tape. Just a little bit of tape on here so we don't get concrete going on the inside of this form. That would be bad. It would no longer be hollow then.
Maybe we should come out with an easy duct tape.
Yeah. I'm just going to raise it up so I can get this under there a little. Oops, sorry. All right, there it is. We got the end connected, and okay, this is good because now we can show how we can connect the 2x4 down here. If you notice, we got two 16-foot lengths here, and we need about a 3-foot piece rather than cutting some of this plastic form, which is about, what is it, $3 a foot? About $3 a foot. Rather than cutting that, we're going to take a 2x4 and we'll use an end connector to adapt 2x4 to the plastiform. All right, so we've made an adapter from plastiform to standard 2x4 wood. We can put this in the plastiform this end. 2x4 will be here. We'll put a screw right here to join the 2x4. Then we'll duct tape again also. So let me get my screw gun and a 2x4. Not bad, huh?
Not bad for government work.
Let's put 2 in so it can't twist on us. All right.
Oh, I don't know if it's one way.
One way, yeah.
Oh. Duct tape the seam.
Is that going to be an issue that's like a...
Yeah. We'll have to adjust
unscrew
it.
screw it back down? Yeah.
Well, you have to use screws at this point.
It doesn't work that way.
No.
How long was this taking you, Tyler? Or David?
It would have took a little longer than this, that's for sure. The nice thing about this is we can reuse it a lot of times. Plus, we can still adjust the level of this form real easily. Anyway, that's all about plastiform. Thanks for giving me this stuff, Jim.
My pleasure.
And Ben.
Absolutely, man.
And you'll see it a lot more probably in my videos. Oh, there's one other thing we forgot to mention. That this stuff is good for 3-foot radius. They got some other stuff over here. 18-inch radius. And it still has the cam lock. This one will do an 18-inch circle. Or radius, I should say. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later, Jim. See you later, Ben.
See you later, dude.
I think we about covered everything,
Yeah,
huh?
man.
So the plastic forms look good. I think they're going to work. You need extra space though, because of the fastening system. You need to over dig behind your back of form about an extra 4 inches than you normally would if you're just using the standard nails and stakes. New construction, they're really ideal because everything's open and nothing's landscaped. Something like this where you're removing and replacing where everything's been landscaped, you got to think about over digging. So it may not be ideal to use their fastening clamps for that particular scenario, but this is something that's reusable for sure. And you'll see in the second video that it comes away clean. It cleans up real easy. It's a nice material. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, if anybody wants to buy any of this form material, I'm gonna put the contact info in the channel description, and by mentioning this video that you've seen the material on my videos, you'll get a 10% off. So make sure you mention that if you're gonna think about buying any. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.